Hello, this is Danny Hacker introducing cross-platform development using Xamarin, which is C#, supported by Microsoft. I'm going to show you how to do the cross-platform development for both Android and iOS using the Mac. So, to get started, you have to install Visual Studio for Mac, and then install all the necessary SDK for both Android. And with the iOS, you need to install the Xcode. But let me run through how a project would get created. So first, we say New Project. You go to Multi-Platform App, select the native UI, which is blank native app, C#. So I say Next. Alright, and then I say CP for cross-platform, test 1. I'm going to target both Android and iOS. I'm going to use shared library. And then we'll go next. I'm going to create it in my projects folder. Create a project directory. Use git. Create a git ignore file. And we're going to create this simple project. Hit the create button. It's going to make all the files. And so we ended up with 3 different projects. One is the shared project, which is called CP test 1. Then the Android version, which is the .droid. And then you have the iOS version, which is .ios. So first, we're just going to build and run the shell project. And it will have a very simple app. So I'm just going to hit the run button at the top left corner here. Now we're doing it's building it. It's going to launch the debugger. And you'll see it on the simulator. And here's the simulator running. This is the iOS 10, iPhone 10. I'm going to hit the button, which will actually display the number of clicks as I click. So this is a very simple app to show you that it can get running. And then I can stop the app. Okay, and then I can do the same for Android. So what I do is I go left mouse click and then right mouse click on the Android project and set as startup project. So then it becomes highlighted. If I select the solution, you'll see that the Android is highlighted. And up here it'll show the Android project. We're in a debug mode and it's going to run the Android Accelerator Oreo. I've got 2 simulators set up. So I'm going to select this one. And I press the run button. It'll build and install on the Android simulator. Or in Android they call it emulator. And you'll see it's building in the back. It creates a APK file, which is a whole package for Android. And then it gets copied over and it's running. And very similar to iOS, you'll see that there's a button. I click on it. 1, 2, as I click it will increment. And if you notice the theme and the button look and feel is very Android based. And iOS has its own. So this is why it's the native UI. If I go back to the Xamarin, I can stop it. And I can go to the Android folder and show you exactly how it's created. So if you go to the references, the resources, go to the layout, and if you open the domain XAML, Android XAML file, you'll notice this is what the GUI was showing. And if you go to the main activities C# file, this is the main code that gets loaded and initialized. And if you look at the bottom 2 lines of the code, which I'm highlighting right now, this is the actual action taken when you hit the button. So the button click is an event handler, and you can handle it by putting in a delegate and put in the Lambda code right on the same line. And this will actually get executed when you click the button, which is the count getting increment every time you click. On the iOS, you have a very similar setup. If you go to the main storyboard, click, it'll launch the storyboard, which is very similar to what you'll see on Xcode for the storyboard there. It uses the basic engine. Obviously, it has a C# flavor instead of the Swift or other languages supported in Xcode. And if you notice this GUI, the look and feel on the buttons are what we saw on the iPhone simulator. And if you look at the actual source code, which is over here called View Controller, you'll notice the button handler is very similarly handled like on the Android. Instead, the button event is touch up inside. It's also the event handler there, and you have the click button increment, and I'll set the string to the button here. And this explains how the cross-platform project could be created and started. Thank you for watching.